Hey everyone, Jake here for American Muscle, and in this video we're taking a look at the AWE Track Edition Axleback exhaust with the chrome silver tips fitting 2014 to 2019 C7 Corvettes. If outright volume and a raucous fun is what you're after, this Track Edition Axleback from AWE is going to be just what you're looking for. This is a super high quality system that's going to make your C7 absolutely shout. Accordingly, we're going to give this one a full 5 out of 5 on our loudness meter. Now, AWE has been making high quality exhaust for decades, and this system certainly does that reputation justice. They've also been known to bring the volume, which this one certainly does. So this is perfect for the C7 owner who's planning to track their car or just wants to have a high quality exhaust that also absolutely sounds the business. No getting around it, this system is loud, and let's just say your neighbors are definitely going to know that something is up. Surprisingly, it's not that intrusive inside of the cabin, at least not as much as you might expect, but of course it is still going to have a lot of volume. Now, I really cannot stress this enough. This thing is not quiet. It's basically just a straight pipe, so you've got no mufflers or resonators or anything here. So again, not quiet, but man, this thing sounds really good. It's deep, it's burbly, it's aggressive, and of the two flavors that AWE offers for the C7, obviously this is going to be the most rowdy of the bunch. It really just kind of opens up the floodgates for exhaust sound, and if you listen closely, especially at lower revs or as it's coming down, you can almost hear each individual cylinder firing off, which in my book is pretty cool. Now, of course, more volume on the outside means that it's going to be loud inside too, and there's absolutely going to be no mistaking what's going on under the hood or that you've got a cool set of pipes on the back. But that's most of the fun of these cars anyway. However, it's again surprisingly not that intrusive when you're just cruising around. You're definitely aware of what's going on under the surface though, and when you really get on it, that's when you're going to notice the difference. The whole system is finished off with these sweet 4.5 inch diameter chrome silver tips as well. Keeps that classic muscle car look, but adds a little bit of extra something to the appearance of your car. These are slightly larger than what you get from the factory. And while it may look subtle to begin with, the moment you fire it up, there's going to be absolutely no mistaking what you've got cooking underneath. Now, this system also comes with a set of the AFM valve simulators to keep your ECU happy. So these are going to allow the actuators to bolt on and function in a way that makes the engine computer thinks those valves are still working and active, even though this new system does not include them. So your car will function exactly like normal, and you won't get that pesky check engine light either. Predictably, construction is also a highlight, as it is with all of AWE's systems. You get 3-inch diameter T304 stainless steel tubing with 0.65 inch thick sidewalls all the way back. Now, this is going to be a full bolt-on system too. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Of course, those tips again are 4.5 inches in diameter, and they feature this really bright chrome silver finish over a double wall slash cuts construction. This system is also available with a black tip option too if you want to go that route instead, and we do have that available on our site. However, perhaps the coolest part is that this system is actually going to save you some weight too. Again, since you don't have mufflers or resonators, this is going to be quite a bit lighter than your factory system. So if you are hitting the track, that's a great benefit because, as any of you track people know, any little bit of weight that you can shave off in the car counts for something. Pricing comes in at about $1,200, which does position this toward the more expensive end of the category. This is going to be a premium option given that construction and the engineering that's baked in. And as I like to say, you get what you pay for in most cases, especially when it comes to an exhaust. This is basically the easy button for straight piping your car. You can do this at home, you don't have to take it anywhere, and then you're gonna shell out a little bit of money. You're gonna know that this will fit right out of the box and it comes with everything you need. Speaking of which, we're going to give the installation on this one a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now, like I've mentioned a couple of times already, this is a bolt-on system, utilizes your factory exhaust hanger locations, and it comes with all the stuff that you need, including those AFM valve actuator simulators. Now, a little bit of disassembly is necessary in order to get this fitted. You do have to pull that rear bumper cover off, but again, everything's just going to bolt right into place once you do. So enough of me talking about it, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the process step by step.
For this install, you need a 3/8 impact and ratchet, extension, a 15, 13, 11, 10, 7, T25 and T15 socket, a trim panel removal tool, an 8mm wrench, exhaust hanger tool, 6mm Allen wrench, and diagonal cutters. All right, today we're going to be installing the exhaust on our Corvette, so let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start off under the hatch. We just have to remove our trim panel here that goes all the way across. And grab our trim panel removal tool. Just carefully get underneath, our one edge here and behind. It's just gonna pull out all the way across. It's gonna work it along. All right, then we just set that in here out of the way. So now that we have our trim piece out of the way, you'll see 10 T15 screws going all the way across. Grab a ratchet and socket, take those out. If you want, you can just set them in the back here. All right, now we just need to take our rear access cover off. So there is a screw knob over here on either side. Just simply spin that off. And then you start at one edge of the trim, just pull back. All right, we can just leave this trim like this. It's not in the way. What we need to access is this latch cover right here. We just need to disconnect that so we can pull our cable through. So we're going to grab our trim panel tool and just pop up on these two tabs here to open the cover. And we're just going to lift up on this edge here, release it out of there. Now the block here, it's nice and simple. Just going to flip it up and slide the cable out of the slot, just like that. Next, we're going to get our bezels off from around our taillights. Now the trim here has to come off before we can get our bumper off and get our taillights off. We're gonna grab our trim removal tool. Just be careful. If you want, you can use a little bit of painter's tape and lay that in between the taillight and the body. If you don't want to scratch it, you shouldn't with this. But you're just gonna be very careful. Just get under this corner, pry that out. Once you have that pried out, you should be able to pull along the taillight so you don't have to go along the body. And just work your way across. And you can set this aside. So the reason we have to take this trim off is for this bolt inside here. You'll see one T15 screw. We're gonna grab our ratchet, extension, and T15 socket and take that out. Be careful not to drop it in the bumper. And once you have this out, you can go ahead and do the same thing with the other taillight with the trim and the screw. So now we're gonna be in our wheel liner. You'll see this plastic trim here. Same thing, grab our trim removal tool, pop that off. Pull that back. Now that is held down by the bottom with another bolt, but we can get in here with our ratchet and T15 socket and take these two screws out here and here. You can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, now we're gonna come in through the exhaust. You'll see two 10mm bolts on the inside here. So we'll grab our ratchet and 10mm socket and take those off. Just be careful, if this exhaust is hot, you will burn yourself, so I recommend letting it cool down. Now we're gonna come underneath the car. You will see 6 7mm bolts going across on either side. So we're gonna grab our ratchet and 7mm socket and take all those out. Remember, when you do take one of these out, this trim piece and the wheel liner will come out. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. All right, now we're getting ready to pull our bumper off. Now, it would be easier with two people. You can do this by yourself, you just gotta be careful. We're just gonna grab here and our wheel arch. We're just gonna pull straight back on either side of the bumper to release it. All right, just let that rest up on the top there. Go ahead and release it on the other side. All right, now that we have our bumper pulled back slightly, you'll see our cable here that we disconnected inside the trunk. We're just gonna pull that through, like so. And then we also have our main harness connector right here. So I'm gonna pull back our red locking tab and then disconnect that. And then we should be able to pull our bumper completely off now. All right, as I was pulling our bumper off, I realized we had one more electrical connector. So I'm gonna disconnect that right here. There is a red locking tab. Disconnect that, and now we can pull it completely off. All right, let's lift this off. just like that. Now that we have our rear bumper off, we can get our mufflers out. Now there are two 13mm bolts holding the mufflers together. We're gonna start with those, grab a ratchet socket, and take those out. All right, now we're gonna come back here to our tips. So our car is equipped with NPP, so we have valves on our tips. We're just gonna disconnect them. There is a white locking tab on the connector, and push down and pull off. You see the white tab right there. Just tuck that harness out of the way, and we're gonna get this hanger down. Grab our ratchet, extension, and 13mm socket, and take those two bolts out. All right, now in front of our muffler, you will see another valve. That is our AFM valve. Now the connector is the same as the NPP. We're just gonna reach in with the muffler hanging down. You can access that and disconnect that. Now we're gonna come in front of our axle and we have our clamp. So we're gonna grab our impact and 15mm socket and loosen this clamp up. All right, now we're just gonna start at our muffler and just give it a good twist and wiggle, and it should pop out of our mid pipe. Now we can just pull that out over our axle. All right, now you can go ahead and do the same thing with the driver's side muffler. The only difference on this is since we have an automatic Corvette, the shift linkage is in the way. We just need to put your shifter into neutral so that you have enough clearance to get the muffler out. All right, now for our stock exhaust, we have to take a couple things off. So we have to take our factory hanger off, and then we have to take our AFM valves off. The FPP, just stay on there. We are deleting those. We're gonna grab a ratcheting 8mm wrench and take these 3 bolts off. All right, just take your valve off. Make sure you retain your hardware. You will be reusing that. And for our exhaust hanger, we're gonna grab our hanger tool and just pop this off. Now you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other muffler. All right, now for our factory valve, we do need to put on a simulator since they are getting deleted. How we do that, we're gonna take this Torx bolt out of here. We're gonna grab our ratchet, our T25 Torx bit, and take that off. Now it will spin while taking it off, but once it hits its stop, it'll break free. Then we're going to just flip it and reinstall our Torx bolt. Doesn't need to be crazy tight, so don't over tighten it. Now we're gonna put our bracket over. And then this is where we are going to reuse our factory hardware to secure to our bracket. Grab our 8mm wrench and tighten them down. All right, go ahead and do the same thing with the other motor. All right, now we're gonna mount our motors with our simulators. These get plugged in like so. Make sure you secure the white locking tab down. And now you can secure these however you want. You just want to secure them up out of the way of anything that might be hot or moving, especially out of the way of the exhaust. And you want to make sure, because this will be moving here, that's not going to be rubbing against anything. We're just going to secure ours to this harness right here. That should keep it out of the way enough. But like I said, you can do it however you want. Grab a couple of the supplied zip ties. Just going to leave it a little loose just in case I need to move it over to make clearance for the exhaust. But you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other motor. All right, now we got our motor secured up out of the way. We have some supplied heat tape. Now we already have some heat shield on our lines, but we're just gonna double up. Make sure we keep all this heat out of here. So just kind of tuck that down and around. You can grab a couple of the supplied zip ties. Feed that around and secure that down. And once you have that secured up out of the way, you just take a pair of diagonal cutters and just go across all of your zip ties and just cut off the excess. All right, now we're gonna get our over the axle pipes in. You just wanna make sure that you have the right ones. 86 will be for the passenger side and 85 will be for the driver. So we're gonna feed that up over our axle and then down and slide into our mid pipe. All right, you can go ahead and do the same thing with the driver's side pipe. All right, so just a side note, because we did get the driver's side in off camera. Now since this pipe is a little bit larger than the factory one, it was a little bit harder to get in, especially because it isn't automatic and the shift linkage is right there. So what we had to do is take our impact and 13mm socket, loosen up this hanger here and our skid plate. That just allows us to get enough flex to pull down and get that pipe into place. So once you get done that, you just go ahead and tighten these all back up with the hanger and we can continue going on with our exhaust. All right, so now we're gonna get our tailpipes on. You just wanna make sure you have the right one. The part number 90 will be the passenger side, 89 will be the driver's side. We're gonna get our clamp over our pipe and slide that up in place. And while that is just hanging there, we can grab our factory hanger and just slide that over, get that set in place. Then we can go ahead and do the same thing on the driver's side. All right, we're gonna get our bolts for our mounts in place. So grab our impact and 13mm socket, tighten those down. Go ahead, do the same thing on the other side. So now we have our brace that's gonna go in the middle here. We're just gonna get our bolts loosely installed. So we'll get one side on first, and get our Allen bolt and nut on the back side. Same thing for the other side. We're gonna need to move our exhaust around just to get everything to line up right. That's okay. So that they're loosely installed, you can go back and start tightening our clamps. All right, once you get everything positioned where you want, we're gonna grab our impact and 15mm socket and tighten our 2 clamps down. All right, we're gonna come back to our clamps for our tailpipes and grab our ratchet 15mm socket and tighten them down. All right, go ahead and do the same thing for the driver's side. All right, now we're gonna come and tighten our logo plate here. So we're gonna use a 6mm Allen wrench. I have a ball Allen just to help get on this angle, and our ratchet with a 13mm socket on our nut to tighten them down. For our rear valve connectors, they are deleted, so they just need to get tucked out of the way. You can either pull it back and just zip tie it. I'm just gonna take ours, just tuck it up here, out of the way. Just go ahead and do the same thing with the other one. Now we're gonna get our tips put on. So our tips all go in the same way. We have our bolt with our 11mm nut. We're gonna slide our tip over. You just slide it on all the way. Make sure it is straight. Grab our impact 11mm socket and tighten it down. And go ahead and do the same thing with the other 3 tips. All right, now we're gonna get our bumper back into place. Just line everything up. And then we're gonna pull back the right side here a little bit so we can get to our 2 connectors. All right, so we have our 2 connectors. We have our smaller one over here. Plug that back in, secure the locking tab, our main harness. Same thing, secure that locking tab, and then our cable. Push back through our trunk and just seat that all the way in. And we can put our bumper on all the way. All right, we're just gonna get our sides in. Give it a good tap on either side. We can start resecuring our bumper. All right, so we're just gonna resecure our T15 screw behind our tail light. We'll get our tail light bezel back in place. Get our bigger part in first and just line up all the other tabs and push into place. Go ahead and do the same thing for the other tail light. All right, now we're gonna go through our tips and resecure our 10mm bolts in there. All right, now we're gonna come underneath and resecure our bottom bolts. We're gonna get our trim piece into place, lines up with this outside hole right here. And then all our other ones. All right, you gotta do the same thing on the other side. So now we're gonna go in our wheel well, grab our ratchet and T15 socket, and screw in our 2 screws here. Just line up all the tabs on your trim, snap that back in place. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Now we're gonna re-secure our cable. Now the ball end will go into this larger slot here. My hand might be blocking most of it. We'll try. Get that secured in there. Lock the cable in the end here. Make sure that sits flat in there and then close the lid. Now we can get our trim cover back into place. Just gonna get all of our tabs lined up. Then you'll need to just raise the seal all the way across so it fits properly. And then we have our 2 screw tabs on either side. Screw this one in on the other side. And we can get our hardware back in going all the way across. All right, grab our ratchet and T15 socket and re-secure all of our screws going all the way across. And lastly, we just have to put our trim piece back in place. Just line up all the tabs and secure it in. And that wraps up our install of our AWE Track Edition Axleback exhaust with chrome silver tips for our 2014 to 2019 Corvette C7. And remember, for everything Corvette, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.